What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Cam ATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you comment anything down in the comment section to enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. You know what time it is. Earlier on in the week, we did the first look lineup where I kind of just talk about the guys I'm putting in the lineup. We build the lineup together. And then I tell you guys, on Friday, I will be dropping a video where we will cover position by position, talking about the players that we are interested in. All right? So I'm going to go position by position in this, and we're going to talk about every player that I really like and why I like them. All right? So I'm not going to keep too much of your time. Greenlightdfs.com to join up with the squad for week 8. Let's go ahead and get it, man. All right? Now, at quarterback position, I see Russel Wilson is the top price guy, but he is not my highest projected guy. Deshaun Watson is the guy that I'm liking the most projection-wise. This isn't value-wise. It's straight up projection, straight up who I think is going to score more points. Deshaun Watson's probably going to be the highest scoring quarterback on the slate. He's going against an Oakland secondary that has been bottom in the league. They've been giving it up. A pairing of him and Hopkins in GPP is a great option, or even in cash. It doesn't matter. They have a whole bunch of upside here in this one. So Deshaun Watson and our boy, why am I blanking on his name? Deandre Hopkins together is an amazing option versus Oakland. I think they're going to absolutely dominate at home in Houston. So I really, really like him. All right. Next up, we got Russell Wilson, who's at the top. I do like him against Atlanta, okay? It is in Atlanta in a dome. Atlanta's a horrible defense all around. Carson's going to eat. Lockett's going to eat. Wilson's going to eat, okay? These guys are going to eat from Seattle. There's no doubt in my mind. I like Wilson in GPPs because I do feel like he's going to be... he might be higher owned than Watson. It's hard to judge at this moment. It's going to be close between those two. But Wilson against Atlanta, I know the whole trend of the season so far has been play quarterbacks versus Atlanta because their secondary has been so horrible. Their defense in general has been so bad, yet Atlanta puts up points and keeps games competitive. So it's always good for quarterbacks. So I can understand if you want to go Wilson paired up with Lockett. That's completely fine with me. The guy that I will be going most likely is Matthew Stafford at 6'1". I put him in the first look lineup, and for good reason. Okay, this dude is $1,000 less than Deshaun Watson, yet he's throwing the ball a ton. He's averaging like 45 pass attempts a game. Their defense isn't able to really stop anybody, so New York's going to score. It's going to be more of a battle, and he's at home in Detroit in a dome. Okay, that's always good. You guys know how I feel about that. I love quarterbacks in a dome, especially at home in a dome. All right, now he gets to go against a Giants team that's defensively has been atrocious, okay? They are bad, just like Atlanta. This team is a team that you love to target, and Stafford's got some good targets that are fairly priced on this slate as well that I like pairing up with Matthew Stafford. So Stafford is probably my favorite guy. I personally have him projected only like less than 2 points less than Watson. So the fact that he's 6'1", he's my best value guy that I like on this slate, and it's kind of close between him and Derek Carr. I like Carr as well. Let's go ahead and talk about Derek Carr. All right. Derek Carr is going to be down against Houston, okay? He will also be a quarterback in a dome, okay? So Derek Carr is a great selection here. I believe, obviously, they're going to fall down against Houston. He's going to get a ton of garbage time. So Carr paired up with Waller is a solid option as well. And the thing, icing on the cake, is Carr's only $5K. Okay? But Matthew Stafford, I'm still leaning, but I like the price of Derek Carr. I just wanted to mention that. Now, on the other side of that Seattle-Atlanta game, I do like Matt Ryan. Okay? He was a non-participant in Thursday's injury report. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. I think he's going to play, but obviously you want to keep an eye on it because you never really know. That's going to take Wilson. If Matt Ryan doesn't play, that's going to bring Wilson down a little bit because the game's probably not going to be as competitive as we would want it to be to play a quarterback in that game. Just saying. All right? But if Matt Ryan does play, Seattle's defense is nothing scary. The Legion of Boom is gone, and they're nothing to be really afraid of. All right? Now, there's been talk about possibly our boy Drew Brees coming back. Okay, there has been talk about it. He's back at practice. He's practicing on a limited basis. Drew Brees is one of the toughest guys in the NFL. So I would not be surprised to see him out there. Only thing is like, look, man, there's no reason to put these guys coming back from injury like Alvin Kamara and Drew Brees in a game against Arizona here where they're at home and they're about to go on bye. Just let them heal through this week and bye week and come back completely healthy. Okay? That's the way I see it. Honestly, I think that's what they should do. But at the end of the day, if Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara start, I love both of them. I love them and Michael Thomas. I love all New Orleans because Arizona is playing very fast. Their defense is not very good. I know Patrick Peterson came back. That's going to help a little bit, yes. But Michael Thomas gets so many targets. I'm not worried about Thomas' production because of it. Even though Peterson is very solid, he's still going to get so many targets in the pass game that he's completely fine. If Kamara and Brees play in this game, I'm leaning, because I love Stafford so much, cheaper than Brees at home against the Giants D, and Brees is coming back from an injury. My favorite player on this team would probably be Alvin Kamara, to be honest with you, because I just talked about Patrick Peterson, who most likely is going to be following around Michael Thomas. Now, Peterson is one of the best cornerbacks in the entire league. Okay, he's super physical, just really, really good at reading offenses. He kind of just knows where the ball is going, it seems like, every time. All right, so Michael Thomas is going to get hindered a little bit. Now, I like Michael Thomas still solely off of the amount of targets he gets in this offense. But with Michael Thomas dealing with Patrick Peterson, it should open up a lot for Alvin Kamara. So if he comes back and he's going to be a full go, then Alvin Kamara is my favorite player on the New Orleans offense. But definitely keep an eye on that because I don't see why they would play him. Okay, but I just wanted to make that known and let you guys know that information. All right. Now, other guys that I'm interested, another guy that I'm interested in, those are the main guys that I have any interest in. Other guy that I'm interested in, Daniel Jones at 5'8" is interesting. Because I love Stafford, so obviously I'll love the other side as well. Daniel Jones doesn't have the targets that Stafford has, so obviously I'm not trying to go Daniel Jones, but in GPP it might be interesting because he's another quarterback who will be in a dome. He's got Saquon Barkley to make a defense focus on the run a little more and open up the pass a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Jones come out and do a good job here in this matchup against Detroit. All right, now, another guy that I like, let me find him real quick. I already talked about Derek Carr. I really, really like him. Where is he? Maybe I'm sorry. Oh, there we go. Teddy Bridgewater. Now, if Drew Brees misses, I love Teddy Bridgewater in this matchup, okay? He's been playing very, very well. The last 3 weeks especially, he's really gotten it going. All right, so he's really looked really good, and this Arizona secondary is not good. Patrick Peterson coming back is going to help, yes, okay? But Arizona plays so fast, which means more plays happen in general in games where Arizona plays, and that means that there's more opportunities for DFS points. I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to be completely fine if Drew Brees does miss, okay? Kyler Murray is also interesting. It's really encouraging to see him getting it going on the ground. He didn't do much last week, but the 93 yards he got against Cincinnati on the ground was very encouraging. So I really, really like that. All right. Anybody else I'm really interested in? Not really. I've talked about the guys that I'm interested in at running back and the main guys that I'll be focusing on. Mainly, to sum it up, Matthew Stafford is pretty much my guy. Now, I talked about it a second ago. Now, Kamara's still limited, and like I said, I don't think he should play. If it was me, I wouldn't play him, okay? But we will know after the practice information comes out. I'm putting this video out before that information comes out, so keep an eye on that. But we will kind of know. If Kamara plays, Kamara is one of my favorite running backs on the entire slate. If he's a full go. If he's going to be limited, I don't want no part of him. But Kamara is very interesting in GPPs. I think he's going to be low owned because he's coming off of injury. But in GPPs, Alvin Kamara is a great, great option here. Okay, because he's 7'6", he's going to get a ton of action in the pass game, in the run game, and Arizona's not good in either one. And like I said, Peterson being on Michael Thomas should open up Kamara a lot. So I definitely expect Alvin Kamara to have a great game. Now, I talked a little bit about Christian McCaffrey in the first look lineup. This matchup scares the shit out of me. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. McCaffrey's the most safe running back in the entire league, no doubt. Okay, just off pure volume, how many touches he gets per game, this dude is elite, okay? But do you have to spend 9-2 at running back this week when the guy who's 9-2, even though he's the best running back in the league and he's dominating, he's going against one of the best defenses in the league, and it's in San Francisco. I can see San Francisco selling out on the run and making them figure it out elsewhere. Sell out on the run, double team McCaffrey with 2 linebackers if you have to, and force them to throw the ball the entire game. Okay, that's what I would do, but I'm no NFL coach. Okay, but I'm not going to have many shares of Christian McCaffrey. I'll just be real with you, unless some crazy value opens up and it just makes sense to go with him. But at this point, probably not. I'm not going to say for sure, but most likely not. As of now, I'm not having many shares of him. A guy that I am interested in is Leonard Fournette. He is at home in Jacksonville going against the New York Jets. Now, the New York Jets rank 6th in DVOA. Okay? They're 18th in fantasy points allowed versus running backs. Okay? Now, regardless of the 6th in terms of DVOA, it doesn't matter. This dude is getting 90% of the rushing targets, of the rushes. Okay? He's getting tons in the pass game. He's playing on a ton of snaps. Like, he's right under McCaffrey when it comes to being on the field. Like, he's on the field nonstop. So this dude has an amazing floor. He's super, super safe. And I know the Jets have been doing okay versus the run this season, but Leonard Fournette's an amazing play once again. Especially in cash games, he's a very safe option. All right? Chris Carson at 7K going against this Atlanta D. Now, this is one of my favorites. I really, really like this because not only is he going to be able to run between the tackles pretty easily, especially if Matt Ryan misses and Seattle gets up, Chris Carson's one of my favorite running backs on the entire slate, if not the favorite, okay? Now, he's going to get involved in the pass game, and we know Atlanta gives it up to pass-catching running backs, so he's going to get involved in the pass game in this one if it stays close and Matt Ryan plays. But either way, whether Matt Ryan plays or Matt Ryan doesn't end up playing, Chris Carson's a great play. Because if he doesn't play, Seattle's going to get up and pound the ball with Chris Carson. And if he does play, Chris Carson's going to get more run in the pass game. But either way, we know Chris Carson's going to get his. He's going to get a ton of run in this offense. So Chris Carson's an amazing play. All right? Now, who else? Let's talk about Nick Chubb, okay? Now, it's kind of, the question is who does Belichick want to stop? Does he want to stop Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, and Mayfield, or does he want to focus in on stopping Chubb and making Odell beat him? Okay, that's the question. I don't really love targeting anybody versus New England right now because that defense is so good, but if I had to have anybody from Cleveland this week, it would be Nick Chubb, all right? Now, I'm just going to skip to something real quick because one of my favorite running backs on the entire slate, I put him in the first look. Let's talk about him a little bit again. Ty Johnson, all right? Ty Johnson is going to be taking over in this Detroit backfield, okay? With Kerryon Johnson going on the IR, that's awesome news. It's an amazing matchup against the Giants. He's going to get involved in the pass game. They're 26th in the league at rushing yards allowed, the Giants, okay? So I absolutely love this dude. After he came in for Kerryon last week, he caught 4 passes in the pass game. So that means he's going to get some of that passing work. So he's way too good of an option at 4.9. I'm locking him in at everything, to be completely honest with you. All right. Now, Devonta Freeman. Devonta Freeman had little man syndrome, and Aaron Donald lifted him off the ground and made him look like a little child. And that pissed Devonta off, and he threw a punch. Devonta is a sleeper running back I really liked last week. He ended up letting down mainly because he didn't end up finishing the game and got suspended. I think he still would have hit about 15 to 20 with the pass game that he was going to be because Atlanta was down. But either way, Devonta Freeman's a solid option here against Seattle as well, okay? Because, period, the reason I like him, especially in cash games, is because this dude he's getting so many targets right now in this Atlanta offense, and that's always good. And at 5.5, if they try to get this dude involved, he will have a great week in and week out. He's a solid running back. As long as he doesn't throw punches, he can be pretty good. And I like him as a point per dollar value play at 5.5. It seems like a very good price here. All right. Now let's talk about a few other guys, and then we'll head over to wide receiver. Another guy that I'm looking into, and I'm definitely have some interest in, is Todd Gurley at 7.4. All right, Todd Gurley is going against the Cincinnati Bengals. Need I say more? Cincinnati's the worst rush defense in the entire league. Only thing you worry about with Todd Gurley is how many carries is he going to get. Okay, the Rams are huge favorites in this matchup. Okay, so it's an amazing game script for Gurley. Okay, so Gurley should definitely get a ton of carries in this one, okay? But his price is priced like he should do well. Like it's 7.4 and kind of him being on a limited-ish snap count. Like he's not getting every carry. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't been the regular Todd Gurley that we're used to seeing. I mean, 18's the most rushing attempts he's gotten all season, okay? Now, this dude can do a lot against Cincinnati, don't get me wrong, but if he's not the old Todd Gurley getting 25 carries a game, I don't really want him at 7.4. But in GPPs, if you want to take a shot at him breaking a few or getting in the end zone 2-3 times for upside, then I completely understand. Todd Gurley's in an amazing matchup. If somehow he ends up breaking that 20 carry mark, he could have a huge game here, and everybody's going to be off of him at 7.4. All right. Who else should we talk about? Anybody else that I have any interest in? Okay. Chase Edmunds. All right. Chase Edmunds is going to be a decent option here. Obviously, we're going to need David Johnson to miss 100%. I haven't looked into that information any lately, so I'm not sure 100% if he is. I think he's going to play, but I'm not 100% sure. So if he misses, Chase Edmunds is going to be an amazing play. We saw last week what he's capable of when he gets carries. Okay, period. All right, so right now it's saying right now that he was not seen during Thursday's practice. So he did not practice on Thursday. If he does not practice again Friday, then Chase Edmunds is going to be an amazing play. This dude is a very good running back when he gets his chances. Okay, so Chase Edmunds also is a great option. All right, let's go ahead and go over to wide receiver, and let's run through these real quick. First and foremost, I want to just go ahead and talk about the value that I love. Okay, and that's Deshaun Hamilton. All right, Deshaun Hamilton from Denver. Emmanuel Sanders got traded away to San Francisco. That is great news for Deshaun Hamilton, who is only 3-3. Okay, so he's definitely going to get way more opportunities than we've seen so far this season. He hasn't done anything special, but at 3-3 in a plus matchup against the Colts, Deshaun Hamilton, no Emmanuel Sanders, I absolutely love him, okay? As a value play, love him. Now, another guy, obviously, Courtland Sutton is going to benefit big time with no Emmanuel Sanders. Like, Courtland Sutton is one of my favorite receivers on this entire slate, okay? Courtland Sutton is an amazing option. Absolutely love him. No Emmanuel Sanders. This dude was already getting more targets than Emmanuel Sanders. Without Sanders now, he's going to be flooded. So Courtland Sutton has become one of my favorite receivers on the entire slate, and I'm going to have him in majority of my lineups, to be completely honest with you, okay? Another guy I like is Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones. Now, in the first look, I said this is a Kenny Galladay week, okay? And I still think so. I still think Kenny Galladay is going to outscore Marvin Jones, okay? I do. Is it going to be enough to warrant that price difference, though? Marvin Jones is 5'8", Galladay's 6'4". That's going to be a tough decision, okay? I think Marvin Jones can get fairly close to Galladay. And at 5'8", if you need the money, that's completely fine. So if you're battling and you need money, you have Galladay in, Marvin Jones is a good way to get off of Galladay. Go Marvin Jones, still get exposure and pair him with Stafford, and you're good to go, okay? If you don't need the money, then Kenny Galladay I would prefer slightly over Marvin Jones for sure, okay? And we know what type of upside that kid has. So he's got ridiculous upside. So I love Galladay and Jones. Not hating on either one of them. I think they're both going to be fantastic options. All right, let's talk the guys at the very top of the price list for, DeAndre Hopkins going against Oakland. I already talked about. Look, if you go with Watson, pair him up with DeAndre Hopkins, okay? If you decide to go, that's simple as that. If you decide to go Watson, pair him with Hopkins, okay? Period. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you don't have Watson, you don't have to. But if you have Watson, pair him up with DeAndre Hopkins. He's in an amazing matchup against one of the worst secondaries in the entire league at home. Okay? So Hopkins could go absolutely crazy. All right? Now, I've talked about him a few times. Patrick Peterson will be seeing a lot of him in this game. Okay? Now, plain and simple, if Alvin Kamara misses and Drew Brees is out too, mainly Alvin Kamara. If Alvin Kamara misses, Michael Thomas gets so many targets in this offense, it doesn't matter who is on him. He is a fantastic play week in, week out, and if I have to guess total projection, Michael Thomas is probably going to be the highest scoring receiver on this slate. Period. Okay? just off sheer volume, especially if Alvin Kamara is out. That's pretty much what I'm saying. If Kamara's out, Michael Thomas is an amazing option. Like I said, if Kamara and Michael Thomas play, like, period, either way, no matter what, okay? If Kamara misses, and I forgot to mention, if Kamara misses, Latavius Murray is an amazing play. I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I love a ton of New Orleans players, okay? New Orleans is one of the offenses that I'm really, really interested in on this slate because they're going against Arizona, a very bad defense, and they play very fast. So it's very interesting, especially in GPP if you want to put like Kamara and Thomas together even. Either way it goes, all right? Now, Julio Jones, if you decide you want to go Matt Ryan. If Matt Ryan misses, I'm not going any Julio Jones. I'm avoiding at all costs. Don't care. Chubb is not a horrible backup. He's obviously a decent backup. But no matter what, I am not going to be playing Julio Jones. Okay? Period. I'm not going to be playing Julio Jones if Matt Ryan misses. So that's all I'm going to say about that. All right? Now, Tyler Lockett against Atlanta. Love the Wilson-Lockett combination against Atlanta this week. In Atlanta, in a dome. One of the worst secondaries in the entire league, if not the worst. Especially if Matt Ryan plays and Atlanta's able to be competitive like they've been all year in every game, it seems like, then it's an amazing play. Okay? I love the Wilson-Lockett combination as long as Matt Ryan plays. Okay, because if the game's not competitive, it's going to be Carson all day long. Okay, period. It could end up being Carson anyway, but Wilson and Lockett, I absolutely love. Now, if you hear my dog chomping away at her food in the background, it's because she's rude. Okay, she decides she wants to eat right when I start recording. Okay, y'all know who that dogs are. They're all rude, pretty much. All right, anyway, now let's go ahead and get straight back into this. All right, don't let my dog chewing interrupt us. All right, now. Really, those are the main guys I'm interested in. I talked about the value that I like. Deshaun Hamilton, Cortland Sutton's too cheap. Marvin Jones is an amazing play. Tyler Boyd is fairly cheap at 5.1. D.D. Westbrook at 4.5 is a great option. So those are the values I love. And my main guys, Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, Lockett, Galladay are my favorite like higher cost guys. And then don't sleep on Cooper Kupp. The only issue here with Cooper Kupp is he's going to bounce back and have a gigantic game here soon. Question is, can Cincinnati keep this game competitive enough for them to need Kupp too much? I don't think so. That's the problem with him. So I'm leaning Galladay, Lockett, DeAndre, and Michael Thomas over Kupp. No issues. I'm even leaning Sutton over Kupp this week, okay? Especially with Emmanuel Sanders out. All right? Let's go ahead and talk about tight end. Now, at tight end, one of my favorite tight ends this week is Darren Waller, okay? Because that game script is just so beautiful for him, okay? First of all, he gets so much run in this Oakland offense. It's ridiculous, okay? Like, he's like an elite wide receiver when it comes to the target share he gets in this pass game. Now, he's going against Houston, whose defense is just okay? It's in a dome. Houston's going to be up big. There's no way Oakland's limiting Watson and Hopkins, okay? So Houston's going to get up big, and Oakland's going to have to do a ton of garbage throwing, and Darren Waller's going to be a big benefactor of that. So I love Waller at 5'9". I think he's going to absolutely smash. If you have the money, do your thing. Don't overthink it, all right? Period. All right? And he is my favorite guy overall, all right? Now, Evan Ingram against Detroit is another interesting one because I love so many Detroit guys, and I want the Giants to stay close, and the guy who's really going to do that for me is going to be Evan Ingram, tight end against Detroit. It's, like I said, it's an amazing environment in a dome. Love the Detroit guys. I think Detroit's going to be scoring. Giants are going to have to throw to keep this game close, and Evan Ingram should get involved pretty heavily in this game, okay? So I really, really like Evan Ingram, all right? Other guys that I'm interested in having some looks at, it's tough, man, because some of the prices just doesn't. I don't want to spend 4.9 on Hunter Henry against one of the best defenses in the entire league. I don't care for Greg Olsen against San Francisco too much, but it is a little interesting. If they double team McCaffrey and make sure McCaffrey doesn't beat them, Greg Olsen's very interesting here because if they force Carolina to throw, I can see Allen really relying on Olsen heavily in this one, and Olsen's only 3.7, so it's definitely interesting. Another cheap tight end that we could go with is TJ Hawkinson. Hawkinson's a solid option as well against this Giants team paired with Stafford. I'm not going to lie. My favorite choice is just spending up for Waller because Waller just gets such a ridiculous timeshare. But either way, Hawkinson's a solid value play if you want to save money. If you feel like you have to save money, Hawkinson's fine. All right? Dallas Goedert at 2.8 seems like a pretty solid value play as well. I'm not hating on Goddard. He's only 2.8, super cheap. So if you're one of those people who just punts tight end every single week, then Goddard and Noah Fant are interesting options as well. Fant should also benefit with no Emmanuel Sanders. Okay, so Fant, I would expect some more targets for him in the pass game, and at 2.9, he's interesting as well if you like to punt. All right, now, let's talk. I didn't open any of the tight ends while I had that open. My bad. Anyway, I was talking about it and just forgot to open their profiles. Anyways, defensively, all right, now it should be no surprise that the New England Patriots are, they've been ridiculous. They're the highest priced defense on the slate, and that's really not that shocking, okay? My gut kind of tells me Cleveland's able to score here, but Mayfield makes a lot of mistakes, man. He's been throwing a ton of picks. It hasn't really been all on him, though. The receivers are like Butterfingers. The ball is bouncing off their hands into the defense's hands. So it's not all on Mayfield, but the way that Cleveland team's been playing, I can see New England getting a bunch of turnovers once again. Probably a defensive touchdown. Would not be surprised. They've been absolutely hot. But the defense I'm really interested in is Jacksonville. Jacksonville's at home in Jacksonville. Like, when it comes to saving at defense, if I decide, okay, I don't need to spend up at defense, I'm going to save at defense. When it comes to saving, I like to pick a defense that's at home and has the best-ish matchup. Like, I don't need it to be amazing matchup, but if they're at home, they're 2.9, it's an amazing value, okay? I just, like Jacksonville at home, going against the Jets, who really just got embarrassed against New England. Darnold was turning the ball over like crazy. This offense, if Jacksonville can contain Le'Veon Bell, they struggle a ton, okay? So I like the Jacksonville Jaguars a lot at 2.9. Another defense that can be really sneaky here in this matchup is the Saints defense. At home in New Orleans. Okay, again, the team is at home. They're going against Arizona. Arizona's been giving up a ton of sacks this year. Okay, and they're doing more plays than any other team in the league. And what does that mean? More plays means more defensive interception possibilities, or defensive touchdown possibility, or fumble recovery. All of those chances raise because you're facing a team that does more plays. So the Saints are very interesting here. They could be very low owned, and at 3.5, they seem like a solid option to me. The Los Angeles Rams is also a defense that you can go with, and the 49ers are interesting because, like I said, I expect them to really focus in on McCaffrey, make it tough on McCaffrey, and then make Kyle Allen beat them, and they could really get some turnovers that way, okay? Outside of that, those are really the teams that I'm interested in the most. All right, and that's it, y'all. Hopefully I was able to answer all the questions that you were thinking in your head before you came into this video. Hopefully I was able to help you. Hit me up on Twitter if you have any questions I didn't answer, at Cam_ATL on Twitter. Make sure you drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, comment anything to enter your name into that $50 giveaway, man. Hit up the website, greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad, and let's get this money, man. It's going to be a great weekend, man. We got some solid value. Solid mid-range guys getting huge usage bumps with players being traded and being out. There's a lot of interesting moves here on this slate. Super locked in, feeling really good about it. So good luck, everybody. I hope you kill it.